So, we've all talked to an AI, right? But what if it could do more than just chat? What if it could actually act for you? That's the huge idea behind AI agents, and getting a handle on their promise, their problems, and yeah, their peril. That's how we're going to understand the next giant leap in tech.
And really, that's the core question here. We're talking about a fundamental shift, moving artificial intelligence from being this passive tool you interact with to being a proactive partner that actually executes tasks for you out in the real world.
Okay, so first, let's get into the exciting stuff. The potential here that has the whole tech world buzzing. We're not just talking about an AI that gives you a recipe. We're talking about one that could then go and order all the groceries for you.
The magic word here is agency. See, an agent isn't just following some rigid script. You give it a big picture goal, and it's supposed to work semi-independently to figure out the steps to get there.
So the vision here is to go way beyond just a simple tool like a calculator and move towards having a true digital colleague. The dream is a collaborator you can delegate these really complex workflows to, which frees you up to think about strategy instead of getting bogged down in the grunt work.
Just think about it. You could give one single command, like, hey, go research my top 5 competitors, analyze their features, put it all in a spreadsheet, and then build me a summary presentation. And then the agent just does it. It handles every single step without you having to guide a single click.
And look, this isn't some far-off sci-fi dream. Agents are literally being designed right now to autonomously string together different tasks and completely reshape workflows. Companies are already testing this out for everything from market research and coding to managing their communications with investors.
All right, but you know how it goes. After all that hype comes the reality check. And for a lot of the early users, the experience with these new agents has been, well, let's just say it's been a masterclass in frustration.
I think this very colorful quote from a Reddit user just captures that feeling perfectly. It's that classic crash when the huge promise of these amazing autonomous agents smacks right into the hard limits of the tech we have today.
So what exactly made that user so frustrated? Well, the request seemed pretty simple, right? Just browse a website's documentation and save it. The agents seemed to get it. It went to all the right pages, but then it just failed. Over and over again, it would only save this one tiny, useless getting started page. It really shows you the huge gap between what's promised and what's actually possible right now.
And yeah, that user was definitely not alone. If you look across forums, you'll see the same complaints popping up again and again. Agents are getting blocked by basic website security, or they forget what they're doing halfway through a task because their memory is too limited. People are having to constantly babysit them, which, totally defeats the whole point of having an autonomous agent in the first place.
Okay, so to really get why these agents are both so amazing and so frustrating at the same time, we've got to pop the hood. Like, how do they actually work? And maybe more importantly, how much control do we really have over them?
So, researchers have this way of categorizing agents based on their level of autonomy. They call it their agentic level. It starts at the bottom with simple tools where the human is pretty much calling all the shots. But as you climb that ladder, the AI starts making more and more of its own decisions. And here's the kicker. The less control the human has, the more the risk goes up, all the way to the top, where you have a fully autonomous agent that can write and run its own code.
It's important to remember that these agents aren't just one thing. They're actually a mix of a bunch of key pieces all working together. They get their own little sandbox computer to work in, they have browsing tools to see and use the web, and they can connect to other apps through APIs. And the whole thing is directed by a big AI model that's like the strategic brain of the operation. And that combination, all that power, that access, and that autonomy, that's what makes these agents a real double-edged sword. The exact things that make them sound so incredible are also the things that open the door to a whole new set of really complex and high-stakes risks. I mean, think about it. Because agents can take real actions that affect the world, whether it's the digital world, like deleting a file, or even the physical world, like booking a flight, their mistakes can be permanent. You can't just hit undo. One little mistake could set off this chain reaction of failures, which is why making them safe it's just got to be the top priority. There's a great IPM report on this that really breaks down how these risks get amplified as the agent gets more autonomous. The more freedom they have, the higher the chance that they might do something that doesn't align with our values, or get tricked into downloading malware, or leak private information. And sometimes their actions can get so complicated that it's impossible to figure out why they did what they did.
In fact, these risks are so serious that some researchers are out there arguing that we just need to draw a hard line in the sand. Their take is pretty straightforward. We should not be developing fully autonomous agents, period. They believe the potential for something to go wrong is just too great and outweighs any of the benefits.
So that leaves us right here at this fundamental trade-off. The conversation isn't really about what AI agents can do anymore. It's about what we should allow them to do. Yeah, they promise this amazing world of ultimate productivity where all the tedious work is just gone. But the real question we all have to answer now is, how much control are we willing to give up to get there?